Foundation English 4 semester 4 common to all second years. Today we would see the lesson Why I Write, written by George Orwell. Reflection on the motivations, reasons behind writing. So he just says or tells us what is that which makes you write, why we should write, what purpose we should write. So all these things are concentrated in this particular essay for you, Why I Write. Introduction. Essay written by George Orwell in 1946. Orwell discusses the personal reasons behind his desire to write, reflects on his childhood influences, his political views, and his evolving career as a writer. So you could see this essay particularly is written in 1946, and he discusses the personal reasons why, what makes you write. Actually, we don't have love and affection for writing. Why is that we love to write? And it reflects on his childhood influences, his political views, and his evolving career as a writer. So how the childhood memories and political views has made an impact on his writing. Influences on Orwell's writing. Orwell mentions how his early life, especially his time at boarding school, shaped his attitude towards writing. So the influence of books and literature in his youth inspired a desire to express his thoughts through writing. And the third point, he says, he notes that he started writing at a young age and was influenced by a desire for recognition and success. So see how he is influenced, he is getting his influence by these things. And he could say, he says, mentions how his early life, especially his time at boarding school, has shaped his attitude towards writing. In boarding school, when he was in school days, what happened and how he got this love for writing. Then how this influence of the books and literature in his youth inspired a desire to express his thoughts through writing. Might be like he read a lot of books, the books and literature when he was youth, and that has inspired him to write a lot of literature, lot of things. And he notes that he started writing at a young age and was influenced by the desire for recognition and success. And the other one is, he says, like, I wanted to write because people, I want to get the people get attracted towards me. I want to write and be influenced, a desire to be recognized. People wanted to, like, he wanted people to see him, to recognize him. He wants fame, he wants success. So that's the reason he started writing. That was influence of Orwell's writing. Four major motivations to write. Why did he write? Why do anybody write? That is why he says, to the desire to be recognized and to feel important. Egoism. To the desire to be recognized and feel important. Aesthetic enthusiasm. The love of the craft and beauty of writing itself. Because really the craft is good. Craft of writing is good. So I like it. Historical impulse. A desire to document and preserve history. Because if we don't write today, tomorrow someone doesn't know what happened in this age. So you want to preserve the history. And political purpose. Writing as a tool for social and political change. These are the four main things he says he writes. One is for the egoism, one is aesthetic enthusiasm, one is historical impulse, and the last one is political purpose. And now if we go see one by one, motivation, that is sheer egoism. What he says is, Orwell admits that writing provides personal satisfaction, recognition. Because when I write something, I am happy. Actually, first and foremost, I am satisfied. So for that, writers are driven by egoism to be admired and appreciated for their work. It's real egoistic, because I want my people to read. I want people to read around me and they have to appreciate me. And the next thing, it's an attempt to leave a lasting impact and gain fame. So I will gain a fame if I'm going to make such things in the writing part. So that is the motivation one, and that is sheer egoism. And second one is aesthetic enthusiasm. See, writing is not just about fame, but also about the joy of creating something beautiful. Okay, it's not just about writing something beautiful. Somebody must read it and should admire it, should like it. Okay, so to make that aesthetic enthusiastic thing, I try to write. Orwell values the craftsmanship and artistry in writing. You have to craftsman. Okay, you have to be a craftsman, creating so many things where people will admire you. He enjoys the act of writing itself and the creativity involved. See, when you write, you create something new, right? So that creativity is something very, very important. I like it. And the third motivation, historical impulse. Writers often feel the urge to record important events and societal change. So when you write today, only we can someone in future is going to read, oh, this age this happened. So it's an historical note. And Orwell believes in documenting history and capturing the present for future generations. So if I'm going to write today, tomorrow future will read it and they'll understand it. And that's the reason I write. And this impulse is tied to a sense of duty to preserve history. So it's a duty of a person to preserve history because future is left to us. When we write something and move only, people will come read and associate us with the past and how they'll compare the past and the present. So it's very important that we should write the history. And political purpose. Orwell political views plays a significant role in his writing. See, it brings changes. Writings brings a lot of change to the people. They read it and they understand it and they bring changes. So it plays a significant role. Writing for him is a tool to influence society and bring about change. So it's like a tool. It has to bring the change. Otherwise, it's a waste of writing. So when you write something, your words must impact, must create a difference. Otherwise it's not going to be a worthy one. So he says you have to create the impact. He discusses how writing serves as a medium to challenge injustice and oppression. So if there is any change, like injustice is shown to us, or they say some slavery is there, so all this is only highlighted through writings. So this is what the four main purpose he says. And then Orwell's evolving views on writing. How did he start? How did he, or what he says with regards to how you have to begin your writing. Early works focused on personal ambition. Later works became more political and social. First one, it was very personal when he started, but later it became very political and social. And then he became increasingly aware of the power of writing as a tool for change, especially after witnessing the political events of 1930s and 1940s. You know, the world wars. Okay, so witnessing so much things there, political changes there, he started. Okay, this writing had a power, and his personal experience with totalitarian regimes shaped his writing, especially in works like Animal Farm and 1984. So these two novels, Animal Farm and 1984, is something very different. Totalitarian regimes, like how people were very rude and harsh towards their subjects. Okay, so that was, openly spoken in this novels Animal Farm and another novel 1984. So this is what is the great thing which this fellow tried to impact and show. Orwell stresses that writing should serve a higher purpose, particularly political and social change. And he believes that writers have an obligation to speak out against oppression and injustice. Writing becomes an act of resistance and a way to bring about awareness and reform. So Orwell stresses that writing should serve a higher purpose. It's not just like that to read something. It should give out a proper purpose. Okay, a higher output, particularly political and social change, you should bring. And then it believes that it has an obligation to speak out against oppression and injustice, how people are suppressed, what injustice is shown in the society. So it should be shown in the writing becomes an act of resistance and a way to bring about awareness and reform. So you have to change. So, conclusion of why I write Orwell's essay provides a deep understanding of internal motivations of writers. He highlights the complexity of writing where personal ambition, aesthetic appreciation, and political goals intervene. So, all these things comes together. Writing for Orwell is not only a personal endeavor but also a public political one. It's a personal thing. It should be to the political one. It should be taken to the society. So, what are the takeaways of the essay? Writing is driven by both personal desires and a sense of duty of society. Writers often start with personal ambition but later develop a political or social consciousness. And then Orwell's experience as a writer shows how art can become a powerful tool for change. So it's a powerful tool and you can utilize them for any major changes. And some conclusion questions you can make. What do I think motivates modern writers today, or how Orwell's views on writing apply to contemporary political issues? These things you can focus on and write for your answers, because these writings of Orwell's are only to tell you why you should write. So writing is very important, and what should be the focus of the writing is the major thing which he has focused on is essay Why I Write. So meet you in the next lesson 1.3. Thank you.